All right, so me and Riley are out here and got a few minutes to kill, not a lot. So I'm gonna pull the covers off the 55 and actually give it a good looking over. I'll probably give a reasonably good walk around with the camera, mainly document it for myself. You guys can check it out too. But then, like, if I'm at a swap meet or something like that, I can pull up the video and be like, oh, that was the piece of trim I was missing, or the one I have looks like this. So just as a reference to always have access to when you're out somewhere. And also, the other thing is, it is 15 shades of gray and white and rust and everything else. I will say, this car needs to be stripped to bare metal. Every bit of paint is bad. Like, it's been sprayed over rust and sprayed over failing paint and all that type of stuff. So, have a thought. I'll talk about that in a second though. But let's get the covers off and take a look at it. So, there she is. Let's do the walk around. So, first off, you can see that quarter was primed. It was stripped at some point and then surface rusted a little bit, and then they just primed over it. So that has to get stripped to bare metal. That door has to get stripped to bare metal. That fender looks like it was stripped, poorly primed, and starting to rust through and needs some body work. That needs to be stripped. The roof, all the roof paint is flaking and surface rust. So that all needs to be stripped. Trunk lid has primer and surface rust and stuff coming through. So that all needs to be stripped. And the hood, same thing. Hood's been sanded and left. So that all needs to be fully stripped. You can see how like textured it is. So that really needs an aggressive stripping. And this fender here, it's in great shape, but over here you can tell it's got some pitting. It's still nice and structurally sound. It's just all surface rust and some poor body work and surface rust. So that all needs to get stripped. This door needs to get stripped. It's got a couple of paint jobs on it, rust bleeding through, bad body work, bad body work. That all needs to be stripped. And the roof here all needs to be stripped. Same thing with this quarter. You can see this quarter, it's all pitted. So this all needs to be aggressively stripped. And then this has to be cut off, replaced. The rockers will be replaced. The bottom of that fender, little corner will be replaced, and so on. So, reason why I'm bringing that up. Yeah, the reason why I'm bringing that up is I'm not a fan of spray bombing a car. To an extent. I mean, you can get some decent spray bombs like pre-mixed paints in like paint color matched in spray cans with 2K clear. You can do an okay job. But most people, when they're selling something like this, they'll just spray bomb the whole thing black or gray. And it helps because it's one color. It helps with the visual and stuff like that. A lot of the times they want to cover up where the body work is and just make the car look better so they can get more money out of it. I'm going to see if I can tolerate trying to spray bomb this thing just to turn it one color, just so it's more appealing to look at in the meantime. The reason why I brought up everything needed to be stripped, everything needs to be stripped. So one light layer of black spray bomb is not going to be a big deal to try and take off later on. So I'm pretty okay with it. And this thing here, there's already overspray all over the windows and trim and all kinds of stuff like that. Sand scratches in a bunch of the trim and stuff like that. So I'll probably just kind of hold a piece of paper around the edges, spray bomb some, and just kind of keep going. But let's do a walk around of general condition of the car itself now. So we already covered that. The fenders are nice and solid. This one, you can see somebody did some crappy body work on a little tiny corner there, but the whole bottom edge is all there and whatnot. So fender's good, door's solid, roof is solid, everything is it's just all surface rust. So all that's solid. The corners of the cowl are all solid, and the hood is all solid. Yeah, there's just surface rust everywhere, but there's no rot there. The eyebrows of both fenders are solid. You can see this one's just dented. Somebody used one of those, the old school dent pullers where you drill the hole, pull it out, probably leaded it some. So that'll get hammer and dollied, MIG weld those holes up. Probably MIG weld the trim holes here up because I don't think I want the front trim. And then this fender here, same, probably a little less than the other side, a little bit of pinholing. Door's nice and solid. Again, this corner here is all solid. And quarter, all the top is solid. That's an old patch that got cut in. The back bottom to the quarters on both sides are solid. It does need this filler panel here, and the trunk floor is surprisingly solid and clean everywhere. Common spots in New England anyway, there's always little rot holes up in here, so both sides do have Bondo. Over there is what it is. Probably find some rust holes when I start digging in that corner there, but trunk lid super clean, and it did come with all 4 garnish moldings for the doors, well, the doors and the quarters. It came with 1 paint divider and 1 door spear. It came with both quarter spears that are up inside the car. That's the front apron, that's in good shape, that came with it. It came with both the radiator support extensions on each side. Came with the quarter patch for the driver's quarter here that goes up over the middle of the wheel well, and those are just some cheapy China rocket panels. Came with a couple of rough parking lights for the front. The tail lights, there might as well just get new ones. It's got a speedo set up, and glove compartment door, and ashtray, and glove compartment hinge. Oh, it's got a glove compartment hinge there too. And then, sorry for all the noise. I was over at my buddy's house, and I was just asking if the windshield and rear window trim is the same on 55 and 57, and he had a bunch of extra. So that is all the interior windshield trim except for the right side, I believe. Yeah, this one's the left side, so it needs this piece for the right side. And then that's all extra front windshield trim. So I have all that. The back trims here, I just need these 2 corner pieces for the backs, and the corner pieces here for the fronts, both of them. And then I don't have any of the wiper excursions or whatever you call them. And there's no driver's door window. Yeah, there's no driver's door window. So that's it. Oh, it does have a regulator. It does have the channel in there. It's got the latch set up. It doesn't have the inside door handle on this side. It does have the inside door handle mechanism on that side, and the regulator and everything. Everything's there for the back windows. And then, as usual with Tri-5s in New England, it needs all the floors. And it is what it is. A one-piece floor on these things is pretty enjoyable to do. It's not that bad. There's the quarter panel long trims and the trim pieces for both quarters up top here on this. And it's got both the door pieces of those trim that match those for the quarter. And yeah, and this is pretty common here in New England. a bunch of debris sits here on the doors and rusts out this pillar. These doors are off something else, so they're really solid. So it'll need rockers and floors, quarter panel patches, a little patch right there. And the doors are off something else, and he did not line them up at all. He just stuck them on there, and they're not sitting on the ground, we'll say. You'll see the bottom's touching, top's out like that. And I got a couple of different sets of wheels I do want to try on here. I got another pair of 15x8s I kind of want to put on front and rear on one side, and then I got slots I want to put on the other side, just kind of get a vibe on it. But yeah, so I don't have headlight buckets. Like, I need the headlight buckets assemblies with trim, and I need, what else? Yeah, I need driver's door window, obviously rockers and floors, and need better tail lights. And yeah, but I have a grill. He did give me a grill. So I have a grill. I have two bumpers that are driver's quality. I have the heater controls. Actually, the trunk's open. Let's throw that in there right now. There's that. And then a decent grill. And like I said, one bump is decent and one's got a good sized dent on one side of it somewhere. But yeah, so again, I'm not a big fan of spray bombing things, but this one, I'm not going to get to this one probably till next year. I was hoping to do a really quick flash build of a gasser on this thing for the Northeast Vintage Drags this year. It just didn't happen. Working on building my house and stuff like that. I still got to build the garage. That thing's falling down and whatnot. So I decided to prioritize. But I think I'm gonna start just kind of spray bombing a quarter panel. See how it goes. I might not be able to tolerate it all. But I did get one of those new cans of those turbo cans. I did get one can of that just to see how that would cover and if it's worth grabbing a couple of those. But then I have a bunch of cans of like semi-flat, flat black, gloss black, stuff like that, spray bomb cans that were just laying around. So I grabbed some of those. Maybe I'll kind of do a base coat of that and then take the turbo can and just even it out. I don't know. But I'm going to play with it a little bit. I'm going to move my truck forward so I don't get overspray on that and just give it a little something. Maybe it'll just kind of change the mood of the whole car. See how it goes. All right, so we all know how the regular spray can sprays spray, and look at the nozzle on this thing. That's a huge fan nozzle right out of the tip here. Everybody rants and raves about these things. Let's see how well it does. I'll give you a live comparison of just a regular spray bomb can. Probably down on like the bottom of the fender. Actually, I'll do the bottom of the quarter in the front. And if you go like right out in the middle, you can see how narrow a path that is and not a lot of coverage. Everybody says these things are amazing, and I've seen some videos where they definitely look amazing. Sounds impressive. See how she goes. Holy hell. Dang. You see how much came out of that thing already? I think I'm sold on these turbo cans already. Dang. Again, this is no prep work. This will all be stripped off eventually. This is just to get it back to one color. But dang, so far that's not even half a can for a quarter and a door with decent coverage. Dang. Now I gotta try and remember where I got this stuff from. But that huge fan nozzle, it's got some coverage. Oh, just got my shirt on everything. Holy crap. Alright, so that is not how to spray a car, especially out in the wind with the dust, tree debris flying around, all that stuff. No prep work, no body work, over rust, over paint, over everything else. Like I said, it's just to kind of get a visual of the car being one color and a little more inspiring. Now I can fit the other wheels, have it look decent. But for reference, that one can of the turbo can there, I think it was like 15 bucks, I think 15, 18 bucks. I try and remember where I picked it up because it was a flat satin black or flat black, whereas most places they kind of only carry white. I don't know if it's because people use it on their houses or something, or fences. But either way, that is some serious coverage. I mean, it's a flat white or a matte white, whatever it is. So it's gonna go on shiny and then dry flat looking. So, oh, there's Riley. Riley's over there staying out of the fumes. So it's probably gonna take at least 2 more cans to spray this thing. And I gotta go take Riley for a walk anyway. So maybe I'll go get another can or 2, probably 2 more. But look at how much coverage there is. Like I said, all the striping, that's because it's starting to dry. Like you can see, it's like evening out up top here. But that's a quarter, a door, a fender, half a roof, and front edge of the hood. But that is some serious coverage. So if any of you guys want to try out the big old turbo can here, that's that's pretty substantial. It's thumbs up from me. And I'm not a spray bomb person. I'm not a big fan of this, but sometimes it's pretty okay when you're just trying to get a visual and stay inspired on the project, and also make it not look so bad for the neighbors, because basically we're looking at this here on this side. I guess I should have done the other side that the neighbors see more of initially, because now this is the side that the neighbors will see, and it's all different. Like, if I show up to buy a car, this is what I want to see. I want to see as little hidden stuff as possible, but it doesn't look good to the general public. And once this dries out and it's like flattened off, this will look a lot better to the general public. So there she is. And I definitely wasn't getting a good pattern. I was probably overlapping a little more than I should have. It is a little on the cold side today and all of that, but like I said, it's all got to get stripped off anyway. This is just for a visual, so don't judge. This is not a professional job by no means. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I may wrap this into the other video. I'll video covering the rest of it and tie them both in together. Well, got a few minutes to spare today, so I'm just going to bomb the rest of this thing black, and tell you, it's pretty satisfying pulling in the driveway and seeing it compared to what it was before. It is flattened out pretty good. If I have enough left, I went and got 2 more cans, so that should be enough to at least get a thin coat on everything. And if I got a little more, I'll dust a little more on this side. There's a little bit of striping going on, but that's way better than we started with the other day, as far as just, you know, motivation. Because that's essentially what it was looking like. So let's wrap up this side and spray the hood and the roof and stuff like that. Let's see if 2 more cans of this crazy turbo spray can cover the whole thing. And again, this is hack work. This is just I know the whole car has to be stripped, and I just want it to look a little better, a little less offensive for the neighbors, but a little more inspiring for me also. And this little extra layer of crappy spray bomb paint is going to be nothing compared to the stripping that the car needs anyway. So it's not really not making any harder work later on. But in the meantime, it'll boost the spirits a little bit. Let's get this thing sprayed. Alright, so seeing I'm using spray bomb, I want to go over something that I only learned a handful of years ago. My brother actually told me about it one day. And ever using a can of spray paint, brake clean, cop clean, any type of aerosol can, and you're trying to spray something and it keeps sucking air, and you spray it upright, and then you can spray a little bit, you spray it upright, spray it a little bit. These all have a straw in them that curves in one way or another. That straw is, these are like aiming upwards, like concaved, I guess. So it's like a dish. So the straw is not going to be in the center. It's going to be off on one side or the other somewhere. So if you have a spraying something downward or upward and it's not spraying, just try like 3 different positions. Like hold the spray nozzle, turn it like a third, try it, turn it another third, try it, and it'll work. Like, you'll be able to spray it almost straight down or almost straight up, as long as you get it lined up with the right position. And some of them, not necessarily this one, but some of them on this ring, there'll be a little dot, and that dot is where the straw is on, like if the dot was right here, the straw should be at this bottom corner. So if you aim this towards where the dot would be, you'd be able to aim downwards and spray as much as you can, or opposite the other way, and you'd be able to spray upwards higher, because then the straw would be back down here. But that's just like a super handy thing that I was blown away that I didn't know it. Probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, something like that. My brother told me about it, and I was blown away. So anyway, back to the car. It's all one color now. So let's get this thing off of here. Yeah, so it's all one color now, so it's a lot less offensive to the neighbors. It's way more satisfying to me and anybody else that's going to see it. So here we go. But yeah, she's all one color, and it's a world of difference. I mean, it is terrible. You can see all my striping on the hood and whatnot, but it's one color all the way across. And one thing I will say is, with these turbo cans, like if you're using a regular spray can and you're like, oh, oops, I got a little bit of overspray on the corner. With this thing, one pass and you get a huge amount of overspray on something. These things are like a fire hose. Holy crap. But reasonably satisfying for what it is. That's like, those will probably be my go-to for like spraying wheel wells and like floor pans and stuff, maybe fender wells, stuff like that on cars that really don't matter too much. You just want to clean them up a little bit. But you can't do much detail work. If you're going to do detail work, you got to hold it way back and let it dust on, and you're just sending a ton of it off into the atmosphere. So it's kind of wasteful to be doing detail work. But if you're spraying a whole car like this, then yeah. And my suggestion would be, is I didn't have the same material, same paint, but I would say get a regular can with a regular nozzle of the same exact paint. Like, you can get that same Rust-Oleum paint in a regular can. Go around and do all your edges with the regular one, because the regular one, you'll be able to like really dust it in and like fine point aim it at something and whatnot, and like dust in all your corners, the hard to get to areas where you don't want that huge fan nozzle overspraying, and then come back in. Just like if you're painting a car with a real paint gun, you go around and you hit your edges first so you can get an even flow coat across the surface without doing the surface and then dusting the corners and getting your overspray onto the surface. So similar to that, but a regular can for your edges, and those turbo cans cover massive amount of like what, cubic feet, maybe cubic inches, whatever, but a lot better. So that'll be satisfying. Maybe tomorrow I'll swap the wheels over on it. Yeah, so I probably won't post this video. Sorry about that. I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll swap the wheels, because I have a full set of 15x8 rallies with trim rings and center caps on the other side of the house. Maybe I'll swap those on, and then maybe put the bumpers on with a couple of bolts or something like that. We'll see. We'll see if we can make this video more interesting. Well, they're all scrubbed down. Riley's not impressed. But I was hoping the two that were flat had a slow leak. Yeah. That's not a slow leak. There's the other one. So that tells me these probably had a slow leak and they were stored outside on their back, deflated with the other rim's pressure pushing down on the top of them. It opens up the bead a bunch and then the bead rusts, or dirt and debris gets in there also. So I'll probably, I don't know, if I put them on they'll only be temporary, and then I'll have to take them off, break the beads down, wire wheel them, put some bead sealer in there, and then hit them again. Oh boy. But they cleaned up pretty decent. There's obviously red paint on some of them and primer on other ones, but they'll get the vibe. It's the deep dish, it's got the trim ring, the center caps, and all that stuff and whatnot, and the white letters. White letters are key. I know it's controversial, but I'm a white letter fan. Well, back at it today, got a few minutes, and we got some rain coming in a little while. So let's see if we can slap the two wheels on this side anyway, because the other two wheels have some massive leaks, and I'm going later today to buy an air compressor to be able to run the tire machine that I have in my trailer on the other side. So I'm going to wait. I'm not going to put those on and keep inflating them. I'll wait till I can have the tire machine going, break it down, clean the beads, seal them, and just, there's nothing worse than project cars with tires going flat all the time. So I'll put the two on that don't leak and get the visual on this side anyway. And I believe I'm stealing the back tires off of this to put on rims to another project that I'm going to pick up. And I know, another project, but this one here I was looking into 3 years ago before life turned upside down, and turns out it's still there, and it's going to be pretty exciting to watch that one come out. And where it's at, I got to get it before Mother Nature takes over, because if not, I won't be able to get to it until next year this time. So it's not an ideal time to go get it, but I mean, time frame for work wise, but it's an ideal time for environment. You'll see when I post those videos. But let's get the wheels on this and let's do a little transformation. Maybe I'll zip tie the grill in and a couple other things. So I'm swapping the wheels on this side because I had two matching tires on the back that I want to take those tires, put them on the rims for that other project car I was talking about, until the matching ones I put on the driver's side are sealed, and then those will go on this side. So I want to have these off so when the tire machine's up and running, when I have the air compressor, I can do all four of them all at the same time and then just come over here and put these on, rather than, you know, get that going, mount those tires, get them cleaned up, and put them on back and forth. Anyway, so I'm just kind of like, I'm always glancing all over the car and stuff and whatnot as I'm going along and doing things. And we've all seen the twist in aluminum spacers to like jack up worn out coil springs on these old cars. I can't count how many project cars I've gotten that have had them in them. But check this out. So you've all probably seen that. You just put either a wrench on it or an extension into it, and you just and it keeps getting fatter and fatter as it goes up and spreading the spring. You can see how close it is back there and how wide it is here. But I've never seen these ones. So if you look, it's got, this is the side view of this one. So it's just like a screw. You thread it in and it pops and gets into place. But I've never seen this style here. There's two of these on it. It's like two wedges with a wedge-shaped bolt in the middle of it. I've never seen that one before. I didn't notice it on the other side, but it might be there. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's on this side too. Didn't even notice it over here. I just saw that upper one. Didn't even notice the lower one over here. So that just goes to show you that, like, you'll bump into so many people and they'll say, I've seen it all and I've done it all. You know, nothing surprises me anymore. I've been doing this for 40 something years. Well, no, almost 40 years. And it is always something like that like, wow, never seen that before. So I don't think you can ever know it all or see it all. Anyway, let's get these two back on here, and then I gotta shuffle. I think I gotta pick up a car trailer later today from my neighbor that's given me one. That's pretty dang awesome. And we're supposed to get rain, so I'm gonna get these back on the ground, maybe zip tie the grill in, and let's see where today goes. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems a lot more satisfying to me. It's only the grill in it. I was going to put the marker lights in it, but like even in just some of this like mock-up, like just kind of putting things together, so one, you know what parts you have and you know what's missing, and putting hands on them, you'll know the condition of them all. Like that grill is busted on one side, and I went to put on the marker lights and all the studs are broken out of the back of the marker lights. So like, you know, on top of them being like, you know, a little pitted or whatever, they're all junk. So that's probably why they got thrown in with the car. But anyway, like you kind of fit things together. I popped on a couple of pieces of trim and I thought two of them were good. One of them's got a big old dent in it. So now I know that I need that on the right rear quarter trim, and just all little things. I'll go to put something on and be like, hey, there should be some sort of bracket here that's missing. And then like you'll know before you even start. And then one thing you do want to start with a lot of these is getting things lined up. Make sure the car wasn't smashed in the nose and the firewall's racked or door post is twisted or anything crazy like that. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of 17 times to just swap the wheels and make this thing one color. But tell me what you think. I think it's worth the extra effort. The paint was 45 bucks. I think it was $15 a can, and I used 3. Yeah, so 45 bucks to make it seem a little more appealing. And the rims I had laying around, so just kind of clean those up, put them on. I'll break down the other two, seal those up and whatnot. But I got a lot of other pressing things to do, like a garage is falling down and a house to build. So I'm going to work on everything else, but we'll do a little walk around. Yeah, here we go. That's a little better. And then, like I said, the grill totally busted on one side, and it's, you know, it's all pitted and stuff anyway, but whatever. And you might have said, if these are going on here temporarily, why did I bother switching them? Just, I was going to have one off anyway, the back one, and the right front tire that was on here is substantially taller than this one. So even in the meantime, at least it's the bigger tire in the back and smaller tire in the front. Anyway, thanks again for stopping in, and we'll work on getting some more better car content out in a little while.